Hey guys, so right from the jump, one of the biggest things about this chapter is we get the aftermath of Star's fight with Shigaraki, and I do like how ultimately there was a legitimate, we, we do see there was a legitimate purpose for the fighter pilots to be part of the overall story. Like I kind of already, I already kind of like them, so it's like nice to see them kind of be part of the solution in itself, and that solution was that they had been recording data on the fight the entire time, which in some ways I like how even though Star and Stripe was the one to sacrifice herself fighting Shigaraki, ultimately it was her comrades who ended up as well, technically you could say the true heroes, but by giving the world this information and this chance to truly end All for One and Shigaraki's iron grip on this world, and through the information they gathered on the fight. Although I do admit, it is interesting because I do like the part that the fighter pilots play in this chapter. Although I do admit I find it a little hilarious not how much the idea of fighter jets being equipped with data analyzing tech sounds to me out loud. Like I'm sure it's based on some similar technology that fighter jets are equipped with, and I know it's stupid that I'm questioning such a thing in a hyper realized world of superpowers, but I'm sorry, the idea of North America and even more so the US having that kind of advanced tech is a little hard for me to swallow. And keep in mind that even despite knowing how much, even despite taking into account how much North America in general puts into its military budget on a daily basis, like I'm sorry, just even taking that information into account, it feels like the most weirdly nonsensical thing in this entire series. Weirdly enough, I don't know why, but it does. Yet yeah, that's weird to the point where my suspension disbelief hits its limit. I don't know why, but it just did. Getting back to Star though, I do like how even though ultimately she what she did, I do like how ultimately what she did kind of killed her power. It's still it's still left her mark, and you cannot convince me that everything the Star and Stripe did throughout this fight, with New Order like rejecting all their quirks and all that, didn't leave All for One in some form of a weakened state. And I don't mean like All for One the villain. I'm talking All for One the quirk. Like I think after this, like all for One the quirk, I really don't think is going to be like it's still going to be powerful. It's not like I don't think Kotakoshi's gonna nerf the quirk or anything like that, but I think I do believe somehow through Star's sacrifice, I pretty much think I pretty much think she pretty much has kind of in some way or another pretty much damaged the quirk or done something to it in order to hinder it, because you cannot tell me that what she is going to have no overarching bearing on the final confrontation. Like I think she did do something in order to like just completely like just destroy like some part of the quirk, whether it's core or just like or just like rip so many quirks out that it's going to leave Shigaraki and All for One just to kind of gather as many as they can now. Um, of course, in Star's attempt to make her declaration sound like a threat, she also put a target directly on Izuku, which just from you see from like from that vision scene and Shigaraki basically saying Midoriya. Like it's at that point where she said that like in Shigaraki's mind right now, like when it comes to Izuku is the final true threat like towards villain supremacy, and the only one shining star left in this whole world that he and All for One now rule. So in order, but so like he, so like Izuku right now is that final hurdle of hope that's left in this world. And yeah, it really puts, I like how it does really put like focus on Izuku now, which but I will admit the pacing of this chapter really made it feel like we're headed full steam ahead into the climax of the series, because now now that Shigaraki is shifting absolute focus to Izuku, which it's one of those things where I'm hoping we're it's almost one of those things where I'm hoping we're not gonna have a casual school arc following this because it feels like it might somewhat break the pace of the story a little bit, but at the same time I almost feel that's kind of needed because right now, maybe someone can correct me on this, but did I miss a scene with Class A and Izuku? Because last time I saw Izuku, I believe he was still resting after still emotionally beaten down, but now he's up and at it, looking ready, totally refreshed and normal. So, like, what happened between then and now for this sudden change? It feels strange and more than a little bit jarring. Like, yeah, I know there was a caption box that said that 2 days after, like 2 days after he returned to UA, but to say the pacing felt off for the second half of this chapter would be an understatement. And honestly, there are areas I think Horikoshi, I do think Horikoshi needs to pick up the pace after this, but at the same time, I think he does also need to slow down because it does feel like he's kind of rushing to the finish line, and rushing a story isn't exactly the right way to go here. And yeah, All Might kind of echoes my own statement in this chapter, which is All Might says, I wanted to see her again, and I wanted you to see her again too, All Might. Like, I wanted All Might again. I've already said my piece on this, so I'm not gonna try and rehash it too much. But I genuinely wanted All Might and Star to meet again so badly, and in that sense, it does make Star's death tragic in where they never got to see each other again, and it does show that we are reaching a breaking point of no return if even the USA's #1 hero was defeated. But at the same time, as the reader, I keep saying the exact same thing. There was more than a little waste of potential in killing her so soon, when I feel there was so much more that could have been explored between All Might and Star's relationship. Like like again, I know I kept rehashing that, but it's like there is genuine missing potential there, and I don't know if it's something that Horikoshi had to sacrifice for pacing, or if he just felt that Star needed to die in order to like truly like in order to show Shigaraki's power. But yeah, there was so many ways that I think this could have gone, and although I will say the good thing I can take away from it though is Izuku's reaction and seeing him more lucid than ever to his desire to stop Shigaraki. That's genuinely good. Like seeing Izuku like all like back up and ready to, like, even though I did complain about the pacing, just seeing Izuku like back up, ready and willing in order to thrust himself back in there, like with full confidence, full resolution again. You can see it in his eyes on the final page. He's determined to make sure Star Stripe's death will be the last, which of course also means the path going forward is only going to get more hellish from here. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Analyst Crunchyroll. Be sure to hit the notification bell, the subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, everyone.